Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhagavad Gita class, and we are going to start chapter 11 today, the universal form, also known as Vishvarupa Darshan. Many people consider it a very important chapter. Every chapter of Bhagavad Gita is very important, but so let us dive straight into it. So before we start, we will recite our Mangalacharan prayers. I will share the screen so that we can all see. Okay. You can see my Veda-based window, I think. Okay, great. Thank you. Introduction. Okay. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Avadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vitakhan Vitamcha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. So, Prabhuji, Ramakanta Prabhu, Hare Krishna. So, I see that you very nicely recite along with me, which is very nice. But I see that you stop after this one. And when we recite the Srila Prabhupada Pranam Mantra, you should try and learn that also, so you can do continuous recitation. Okay? So please make that effort. So that will be nice effort. Okay? All right. So Bhagavad Gita Chapter 11. All right. So let me explain a little bit what is going on in chapter 11. And to get started, I need to share this screen. Okay. So I hope you can see my screen, the iPad screen.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Very nice. So chapter 11. So This is the Vishwarupa Darshan, or universal form of the Lord. So, in the previous chapter, Arjuna requested to know all the opulences. Chapter 10. Opulences, or the vibhutis of the Lord in the material world. So he heard about them. He heard about the vibhutis from the Lord. In chapter 11, he wants to see those vibhutis. So that is the desire. So we engage. The purpose is that devotees engage or want to engage, want to, desire to engage all their senses in thinking of Krishna. All their senses. So here we see the sense of ear and eyes, both are being engaged in thinking of Krishna, or not thinking, or you can say remembering, or you can say as anything that assists in keeping our mind or consciousness focused on Krishna. Our external sense organs, 5 sense organs, Gyanendriyas, are the ones that we use to focus our mind. Mind directly cannot see, it sees through these 5 Gyanendriyas. So, of course, when you close your eyes, and a mind can always wander, it can imagine or it can think. That is also true. So, if you want to imagine all the nice vacation you are going to take, let us say, even though you are sitting in Portland, you can think of Hawaii. So none of the Gyanendriyas, your eyes are not seeing Hawaii, your ears are not hearing about Hawaii, let us say, but mind can definitely go to Hawaii and think about it. So it is possible, but it is very highly assisted by the Gyanendriyas. So nothing like Gyanendriyas assisting the mind, then it becomes very much more powerful meditation. The mind can get powerfully attached to something that the Gyanendriyas are focused on. The external sense organs are focused on: eyes, ears, nose, touch, and taste. Okay, so that is what the devotees always want to do. So we will see here that it is not that Arjuna, it's not that Arjuna needs more confirmation about the divinity of Krishna. And that is why he is asking. So this is the wrong understanding, that he is looking for more confirmation. Oh, Lord Krishna told me all these things. Let me ask him to show me. I can say that, like Mr. Trump, he can say he has so many $1 billion, but people ask him, show me your tax returns. Unless I see, I will not believe, or whatever may be the case. That is not the case here. Arjuna is fully convinced of the Lord's divinity. And this is the reason why he wants to see after he has heard, is for his pleasure, is for helping him to focus his mind better on Krishna. And you will see that in some part of the purports, we will see Srila Prabhupada is explaining that Arjuna is asking on our behalf, that so that we can understand how the Lord, not only from hearing, but the process of seeing. It will be described, what will one see if one wants to see the Lord in the material world? What would he see? So a vivid description, a visual description is being given here. So this is not the reason. Chapter 11 is giving a visual description of Lord's presence in material world, and mainly for the benefit, for our benefit, not for Arjuna's benefit. Arjuna is already convinced, and that aspect will be covered in the first verse itself. So in the first verse, the last line, Arjuna says, Moho ayam vigato mama. So my moha, my illusion is vigata. Vigata matlab chala gaya. It is gone. It has been removed. So mama moha vigata. Like my moha, my illusion has gone. Like that, we can construct the sentence. So moho ayam vigato mama. That is what Arjuna says in the first line. So that is the purpose of chapter 11, to see the universal form, to see this whole world as, now I will say it literally and I will give the actual meaning. Literally means to see this whole world as Krishna's form. This is known as the Vishwa Rupa. If you do translation of the word Rupa, it means form, isn't it? Vishwa means this whole material world. So this whole material world as a form of Krishna. All right. So let me explain this. Please listen carefully. And this is an important point. I wanted to cover it a little bit later, but I will cover it now itself. So what is the universal form? What is it? So we see the entire material world. Okay. So let us say you look out and you see stars, you see trees. When it is evening, you see trees and mountains. When night sets in, you begin to see stars and moon and whatever. This whole creation is the material world. So one understanding, the sort of the beginner understanding, beginner level understanding, is that the material world, this whole samsara or this whole Vishwa, this whole material world is the form of Krishna. Okay, is the form of Krishna. The advanced level understanding is that this material world is the energy of Krishna. What is the difference between these two? In the advanced level of understanding, the Lord himself is not equal to the material world. Okay, this material world is not Bhagavan. It is the Shakti or energy of Bhagavan. Okay, and this Lord Krishna had told in the 7th chapter itself. He said that, what is that, 7.4? Bhumir apa anala vayu kha mano buddhir evacha ahankara iti yamme ashta prakriti, bhinna prakriti ashtadha. So this, everything is formed out of these 8 elements: earth, water, air, fire, even the whole, all the stars, all the planets, everything. The whole material world is formed of these material elements. And what is Krishna saying? Bhinna prakriti ashtadha. These are my various bhinna prakriti. Prakriti means energy. So he is not saying over there in the 7th chapter that I am these elements or I am this prakriti. Okay. Prakriti is different from, like we said, Shakti is not equal to Shaktiman. Shaktiman means one who possesses the Shakti. Okay. So that is the advanced understanding, or that is the true understanding of the material, of this universal form. Okay. So in this chapter, what we see is that the entire energy of the material world is seen by Arjuna, concentrated at one place. This is the universal form, or the Vishwarupa form. And this is why those of you who have read a little bit ahead in the Bhagavad Gita, not Lord Krishna, Arjuna says that this is so bright. It is just, it's unbearable. It is so hot. It is so troublesome. I'm getting burnt up on seeing this universal form. So when you put all the energy of the material world in one place, it will be unimaginably, there's just so much energy. So that is the universal form that Krishna is showing Arjuna. Okay, now just a small point when we say energy of the material world. So one can understand it is not something that there is material world and then there is energy of the material world. The material world is the energy of the Lord. The material world is the energy. Just a small point to be noted here. Even today, over the last 100 years, from the last 100 year onwards, we do understand the equivalence between matter and energy. Isn't it? How would you represent that? What is the famous thing that comes to mind here?
E equal to mc square.
Very nice. E equals mc squared. Famous Einstein's equation, which basically means there is no difference. At least the theory has proved there is absolutely no difference between matter and energy. We do not know how to fully convert matter into energy or vice versa. We don't know all those techniques, but it is definitely convertible. So matter and energy are just one and the same thing. So when we say material world, I may see this, I don't know, let us say this pen made of plastic. Okay. Definitely there is a way to convert this to pure energy. And of course, in 1944, the scientists were able to convert tiny amount of matter into energy. What is that called?
Nuclear bombs.
A nuclear bomb. Very nice. So that too very tiny amount of matter was converted to energy. And I don't know, some of you can maybe tell me, has there been any advancement to convert energy into matter? Pure energy into matter. Now this may be a little, I told you I'll do a little bit of science in some of the classes. I don't know when we will do a pure science class, but energy to matter. We talked about matter to energy. This happens in nuclear reactions, right? Whether it is a controlled nuclear reaction, like in a nuclear reactor, where you can produce electricity and those things, that is like your controlled nuclear reactions for good purposes, or uncontrolled nuclear reactions. These can be controlled for good purposes or uncontrolled for destruction, like a nuclear bomb. This could be a bomb, and this could be a power plant. So this is matter to energy. What about energy to matter? Anybody can think? You may not know unless you have studied some physics. Anyone? Nobody?
Making ice
Ice?
from water?
No, that is just conversion from one form to the other. There is no nuclear reaction that's going on. You need very, 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 very high energy. All these things cannot happen in the kitchen.
Is the solar dust a form of it?
I don't know about that. So one of the ways or one of the examples where energy is converted to matter. Yes, anyone?
Fusion reaction.
Air converting into air energy converting into electricity or something? No.
And fusion, somebody said, that is also matter to energy.
Oh.
Okay. So
Formation of diamond
Hmm?
by compression. Formation of diamond
No,
by compression.
I don't think so. Energy, maybe that is partly, I don't know. No. Anyway, so energy is directly converted to matter in a particle collider.
LHC.
Yes, like LHC in CERN. So what happens there is that you are trying to discover new particles which exist as per theory in the standard model of physics or in elementary particle physics. Theorists say that, oh, this particle could exist. All these what they call as exotic particles, which you don't see in nature because they are so highly unstable. In one of the classes, I talked about the Higgs boson. You cannot see the Higgs boson by itself. It lives for something like 10 to the power minus some, astronomically low number seconds or something. I'm just putting this number 30. I don't know. It lives for such a short period of time that, how can it ever be present? So what happens is that in a particle collider, you race two particles towards each other. Okay. And at very, 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 very extremely high energy, almost like 99.99% the speed of light. And then you collide. You first make them go fast, then you change their direction a little bit so that they are on a collision course. And then they collide. Okay. And then it produces out of the collision, it produces massive amount of energy. Whatever energy you have spent through all the magnets, all the, the force that you have, magnetic force that you have put to make them go at such high speed, when they collide, that energy that out of the collision is released. And when that very extreme high energy is released, it condenses into matter particles. That energy condenses to matter particles. Some particles are formed and then they disappear. So anyway, so that is the extent of today's physics lesson. So we like this. So basically, energy is converted to matter in this kind of a setup. There may be other examples which I am not aware of. But anyway, where were we? We went into this little sideline discussion about physics. But the point is, this whole material world is energy of Krishna. Okay, whether we see it as real energy, like solar energy, or there are so many forms of energy that we know, gravitational energy, like when in a waterfall, water falls from a high mountain to down, you have energy there, right? And it powers various hydroelectric, power plants. All that is energy present in nature. So whether you call it material world, energy is matter, matter is energy. Anyway, that entire
wind power,
entire energy of the material world, all of it was seen by Arjuna concentrated at one place. That is the universal form. So please try to understand the sort of how we can understand as sort of students of science, we can understand what Lord Krishna might have meant by this universal form. Okay, so that is the universal form, and we will see that in some more. I have some nice pictures I will show you, etc. So let's see. So the breakdown of this chapter is like this. So chapter 11 sections. 1 to 8, or rather 1 to 4, is Arjuna's request to see universal form. Let me just see if it is to 4, right? And 5 is Shri Bhagavan Vacha. 5 to 8, Lord Krishna enables Arjuna with Divya Chakshu, with divine eyes, so that he can see the universal form. Because it is so bright, it is going to be so energetic. Like even to see the sun, you should wear sun goggles. Those who live in Portland, a few years ago, there was a total solar eclipse. There was so much hype about it. 2017, it was known as the Great American Eclipse or something like that. And it passed right through Portland, actually. Actually, if you went to Corvallis, a little bit down south, you would be in the sort of the totality zone. So we went to Corvallis and with some of our friends, Srila Prabhupada and all. And for 2 minutes, we could see the total solar eclipse and the corona of the sun, like around it and all that. So we could, but you could only see that when you put certain sunglasses, not just ordinary sunglasses, but solar sunglasses. Otherwise, your eyes will be damaged. You cannot see the sun directly more than 2-3 seconds. Don't even try. Otherwise, your eyes will get damaged. So anyway, to see so much energy, you need special eyes. It's not just about the solar energy. It is about the energy of the entire universe concentrated at one place. So that is the first section, or first 2 sections. This is, then there is description of the universal form. Okay, and 9 to 14 is Sanjaya's description. Remember, so this is the second time when Sanjaya is speaking. Sanjaya speaks for a total of 3 times in Bhagavad Gita. In the very beginning, when Bhagavad Gita is beginning in 1st and 2nd chapter. Then in 11th chapter, he speaks few verses when he's narrating to Dhritarashtra what he is seeing as universal form. So he also has Divya Chakshu given by Vyasadev, Sri Veda Vyas. So he is also able to see. And 3rd will be when he speaks towards the end, his sort of happiness, his pleasure about how happy he is to have heard this Krishna Arjuna Samvad. So he also heard the Bhagavad Gita and he's so happy. So he's expressing his happiness. Anyway, so this is the Sanjaya's description of the universal form. Then 15 to 31 is Arjuna's description of universal form. So we will stop there, or rather we will, then I will give more sections afterwards. So let's try to cover till this much. So Arjuna's request, Lord Krishna granting Divya Chakshu, then Sanjaya's description, then Arjuna's description. That will take us to verse number 31. Okay, so we will go a little faster. We will not go through the Sanskrit of every single verse. So we will go through the Sanskrit of the first verse. And here you can see that, actually we will skip that also. We'll just go through the translation. But the last line is very important. Moho ayam vigato mama. My moha has been vigata. Mama moha vigata. Mera moha chala gaya. So the reason why he is asking once again to see the universal form is not to dispel his illusion. Ki dikhao to jane. First you show me your universal form, then I will believe you that what you are saying is true. No, that is not the case. That is clear from moho yam vigato mama. That has been proven. Are you all clear? The importance of that line? So it is only, the reason is for his own pleasure. Because a devotee of the Lord wants to see the Lord in all the all his forms. Like both our kids are now in college, and my wife, when she purchased some shirts for our child, and she sent by mail. Then she is telling, send me pictures wearing that shirt. The child is the same whether he wears a blue shirt or green shirt, but she wants to see the child in the green shirt which she has sent. She wants to see how that green shirt which she has sent looks on the child. So that is due to the love. It's not like she's trying to, prove something. That is not the case. So devotees, because they love the Lord, want to see the Lord in all their form, all the possible forms. Okay. Another point to be noted in the first verse. So actually, let us read the first verse. So Arjuna uvacha mad anugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma sangitam yatvaya oktam vachastena moho ayam vigato mama. So Arjuna is saying, by my hearing the instructions, you have kindly given me about these by my hearing the instructions that you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has been dispelled. So a very important word is anugraha. What is the meaning of anugraha?
Oblige.
Oblige, or in this case, when Arjuna is saying mad anugrahaya, because of my request. Okay. So whatever questions, we must see the mood of Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. Even though he's asking very tough questions to Lord Krishna, he is asking in the mood of a request, not a demand. So that is to be understood. Okay, next verse 2. So I am assuming, like always, all of you kindly keep Bhagavad Gita as it is open in front of you and follow along. So we are going through the translations of all the verses. 2. O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories. O greatest of personalities, Parameshwara, he says. O supreme form, and he also calls Lord as Purushottama. Later on, in one of the verses, he will call Lord Krishna as Vishnu. So one can understand that Vishnu is a very, very, very specific address to the Supreme Lord. The name Krishna is confidential. One can say, okay, Krishna is, even those people who say that, oh, Krishna is a person, is a human being. And so many times Lord Krishna has blasted that understanding. He has decried and that is the wrong understanding to consider Krishna as a person, as a human being. Nobody in their right mind would consider Vishnu as a human being. Vishnu, everybody understands. Even the father of Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, used to worship a deity of Lord Vishnu. So nobody considers, and Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Vishnu. So there is, over and over and over proof that in the Bhagavad Gita, it is very, very clear that Krishna and Vishnu are no different. And here he is being addressed as Parameshwara and Purushottama. O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. So, in the second line of verse number 3 rather, so 11.3, C and D, Arjuna says, Drishtum ichhami te rupam aishwaram purushottama. So, Drishtum ichhami te rupam. Drishtum ichhami, मैं इच्छा करता हूं. Drishtum, to see, te rupam, that rupa, aishwaram purushottama, that roop which has the aishwarya. Aishwarya means which shows that everything in the material world is coming from you, is your energy. So the whole material world is coming from you. Please show me that form. I have that desire. So you can see here, there is no demand. There is only a desire that he is presenting. Okay. Ichhami. Ichhami means मैं इच्छा करता हूँ. I do the ichha. I do the desire. So it is my ichha. Whether you want to fulfill it or not, your desire. So it is a request. And here in the purport, I will show you. This is the place where I was mentioning. Where is it? So we'll go to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse number 3. And you will see here, Arjuna is, or Srila Prabhupada is commenting that Arjuna has no special desire, where it is, therefore he knows, yeah, Arjuna. So Arjuna has no special desire to see him in this universal form. For Arjuna is completely satisfied to see him in the personal form of Krishna. So Arjuna does not have that personal desire that I want to see the universal form. But the Lord can understand, and also that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to convince other people who are still not convinced. Even after reading first 10 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, they may still not be convinced that this is Bhagavan, to convince those people, those kind of people. At the end, Srila Prabhupada writes, the people therefore should be careful. One who claims to be Krishna, there are so many people that say, I am Bhagavan. They will say, मैं भगवान हूँ, मेरी पूजा करो. So then, one of the other purpose is that one who claims to be Krishna should be prepared to show his universal form to confirm his claim to the people. Okay? If you say you are Bhagavan, please show me the universal form. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is saying, I am Bhagavan. And when Arjuna says, please show me the universal form, Lord Krishna says, sure. So those who claim to be Bhagavan should be prepared to show the universal form. Okay. So this is one point that Srila Prabhupada is making. Okay. Then 11.4. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal form. So he is requesting. This whole mood is that of a request, not a demand. If you think I am able, please show me that universal form. Another point to be noted is that the extent of the Lord's energy cannot be fathomed by a human being. However intelligent he may be, however powerful he may be. Arjuna is very intelligent, very powerful person, correct? Very, very intelligent, very powerful. More powerful than any person living today, more intelligent than any person living today. But still, Arjuna is depending on Krishna to show him the extent of his energy. Not by his own strength, even though he is so powerful and so intelligent, by your own strength, by our own strength, we cannot figure out Krishna. This point we have made so many times before. How much ever we try, we will never be able to figure out Krishna completely. We can understand Krishna to the extent that Krishna reveals himself to us. Okay? जितना भगवान चाहेंगे, उतना हमें भगवान के बारे में पता चल सकता है. उससे ज्यादा नहीं. Clear? So that is the point that is being made here. In the purport also, Srila Prabhupada writes that Arjuna as a devotee does not depend on his speculative strength. Rather, he admits his limitation as a living entity and acknowledges Krishna's inestimable position. And later on he writes, if he likes, he with a capital H, which means if Krishna likes, he can reveal himself. Again, capital H. Let me just show it. This is verse number 4. Yeah, here. If he likes, he can reveal himself by his grace, although he is unlimited. So we are limited. We cannot figure out Krishna on our own strength. But if he likes, he can reveal himself to whatever extent he wants. So in the last line, Srila Prabhupada writes that thus it is not possible for persons who depend on the strength of their mental speculation, their intelligence, to see Krishna. They cannot figure out. Okay. All right. So that is 11.4. Now 11.5 to 11.8 is Bhagavan speaking, and he is going to give the divine vision or divya drishti or divya chakshu to Arjuna. So verse 5, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, now see now my opulences. Hundreds of thousands of varied, divine and multicolored forms. O best, verse 6, O best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of the Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all the other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. 7. O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non-moving is here completely in one place. So in 11.7, Lord Krishna is saying in one place. The Sanskrit there is ihaika stham. It starts with this. Ihaika stham. In this, ihaika means one, stham or means sthan or place. So ihaika stham jagat kritsnam. So this whole jagat is being shown completely in this one place, which means it is the concentration of entire cosmic manifestation, which means the material world, in one place. Okay, so ihaikastham. And then he gives him divya chakshu. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. So the Sanskrit of this is na tu mam shakyase drishtum. So na tu mam shakyase drishtum. You cannot see me. Drishtum. Anena eva svachakshusha. That you cannot see me with these svachakshu, your own eyes. Your own eyes are incapable. Divyam dadami te chakshuhu. So dadami, remember Bhagavan says dadami buddhi yogam tam. That is for understanding Krishna. Here now he is saying dadami what? Divya chakshu. So divyam dadami te chakshuhu. So Bhagavan is giving divya chakshu. Pashyame yogam-aisvaram. By which you can see this yoga-aisvara, this beautiful, this energetic, not beautiful. It is not beauty. It is very lot of energy. You know, you don't want to be in the middle of it. Yogam-aisvaram, this very, very energetic form. Okay. So, yogam-aisvaram is a very important word here, because on seeing this form of the Lord with full of energy, it generates a feeling of awe and reverence and even fear. If you see a very, very, very powerful person, you will feel a little afraid that, oh, I should not say something wrong. I should not do something wrong in his presence. There is a sense of fear. There is a sense of like getting intimidated, even though that person is not intimidating to you, just because of his supreme position, you feel intimidated. There is a feeling of intimidation, fear, and awe, reverence, and tremendous respect. What is missing? So all these things are nice, or maybe some are not, like fear and intimidation. But definitely this is present. What is not present is a feeling of love or sweetness. This is missing. Okay? You don't feel love. I mean, you feel respect, but not love, where you can approach the person with love. You dare not approach such a person like that. You will think, oh, every time you will be more thinking, what am I doing wrong? I shouldn't do anything wrong. So that is what is absent in this kind of a form. So that is the form Lord Krishna is going to show. Pashyame yogam-aisvaram. Okay, so that is verse numbers 1 to 8. Yeah. In the purport, that is what Srila Prabhupada is saying here of number 8. So this is 5. Okay. Let's quickly go to 8. It's taking too much time. 8. And here Lord or Srila Prabhupada is saying this, that when Krishna, in the Krishna form, one is able to relate to Krishna in a loving, sweet, loving way. So devotees who are correctly situated in the transcendental relationship with Krishna are attracted by the loving features, not by a godless display of opulences, not by the sheer power, by the sheer amount of energy. That loving sweetness will not come. So in the Krishna form, where the Lord is playing flute, where he is, having fun, that evokes a loving sweetness of relationship with Krishna. So here it is written, they are so immersed in pure love that they do not even know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In their loving exchange, they forget that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Okay, so the devotees of Krishna forget that Krishna is Bhagavan. But here in this universal form, every second you are reminded that you are seeing the Supreme Lord. You will never be able to forget his supremacy. So that is the difference. Are you following? Okay, so we covered till 8. Okay, 9. So now 9 to 14 is Sanjaya's description. Of universal form. Sanjaya's description. Okay. Sanjaya said, O king, having spoken thus, the Supreme Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. So, Lord Krishna displayed the universal form to Arjuna. Arjuna saw, now number 10 and 11, Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared all over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all expanding. So, Lord Krishna is being shown in the universal form here. So, this is the kind of form. Let me share my screen. I will stop the screen share here and I will show the slides here. Okay, are you able to see this PowerPoint? So that is the kind of form that is being shown here. So this picture has been drawn by devotees. And you can see here, unlimited mouths. You see so many mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions, decorated with many celestial ornaments, many divine upraised weapons. You can see all these weapons. There is the trishula, there is the bow, and many other weapons you can see. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared all over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all expanding. So this is the picture drawn by devotees of the universal form of the Lord. Okay, next, number 12. If hundreds of thousands of suns were to arise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. If hundreds of thousands of suns, so the Sanskrit that we will read the Sanskrit here. Divi Surya Sahasrasya. So Divi Surya Sahasrasya. Sahasrasya means many thousands. Sahasra means 1,000. Sahasra, huh? Sahasrasya, many thousands. Surya, suns have arisen. Bhaved Yugapada Utthita. So Bhavet, there were. Yugapada means all at once. Utthita, Utthita matlab uthe or rise. So thousands of suns, if they arise, that much energy was being seen. Yadi bha siddrishi sa syad bhasas tasya mahatmanaha. So if hundreds of thousands of suns were to arise at once, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. That much radiance was there. So verse number 12 says, thousands of suns were to arise at once. So somebody may ask, how is it possible that on earth this battle is taking place where? Where is this taking place?
Kurukshetra.
Kurukshetra. Dharma kshetre, Kurukshetre. That is the first word of Bhagavad Gita. Samaveta yuyutsavaha. So this is Kurukshetra, where the battle is taking place. How can we see suns, thousands of suns in one place? Ekastham. That is in the next line, 13th verse. Arjuna or Sanjaya is saying, Tatra ekastham. That at that one place, he's seeing all these things. In one place, he's seeing thousands of suns. So let me show you another picture. So this picture, kindly mute yourself if you are not speaking. Okay, so this picture was taken looking out of the window of an aeroplane. So what do you see in this picture? Would somebody like to say? Raise your hands. What do you see? And I'm telling you that this picture was taken from the window of an aeroplane. Yes, Indra madam.
Looks like sunset.
Okay, sunset. Neeru Mataji.
To me, I mean, it's a sun rising on the horizon.
Okay, sun rising, sunset, fine. Anybody else? Yes, wait.
I think this is a nuclear bomb.
All right, this is a nuclear bomb. Any other guesses?
You just seek the horizon actually.
No, horizon, yes, sure. But what do you see, that bright object?
Of course, it is sun.
Sun, of course it is sun. So you are giving a final answer. Of course, it cannot be anything different like that, you're saying. Very nice. Anybody else?
Yeah, sun only probably.
Sun.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. This is whole sun, but I think this is cover half in a slide or glass.
Okay. Okay, but it is the sun you are saying, whether it is half of the sun. Fine. All right. So we have majority of the devotees saying it is the sun. So one of the devotees said it is a nuclear bomb, and that is the right answer. And in fact, it is not just any nuclear bomb. The name of this nuclear bomb is Tsar Bomba. It was the most powerful nuclear weapon ever exploded. Of course, it is a test explosion, not a real war. So it is not the Hiroshima or Nagasaki nuclear bomb, but is a test explosion done by the Soviet Union called Tsar Bomba, Tsarbomba. And it's the most powerful nuclear weapon ever tested. And it is considered to be some hundreds or thousands of times more powerful than the one dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So that powerful it is. And this picture is taken from about 500 kilometers away. So from 500 kilometers away in an aeroplane, this is looking like the sun. So if somebody says, how is it possible that one is seeing thousands of suns in the universal form, I just want to make a point why I'm showing this picture. The point I'm trying to make is that it is possible. With our technology, which is much inferior to the technology that is available to all the warriors in Kurukshetra, and what to speak of Lord Krishna himself, who is Param Bhagavan, why he cannot show thousands of suns in one place when we can manufacture a little sun on earth. When you see this picture, at least 10 different devotees said it is the sun. So why is it not possible? It is definitely possible. Because some people may say that this is, fiction, this is just some storytelling. That is not the case. Through such experiences, we get the faith, we get the we get some understanding that this is definitely possible. That is the point I'm trying to make. Okay. Then verse number 13, Lord Krishna says, Arjuna or Sanjaya is saying, Tatra ekastham jagat krishnam. So in that one place, at that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. Okay. So that is what Arjuna is seeing in this universal form. So, and last verse by Sanjaya, number 14. Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances with folded hands and began to pray to the Supreme Lord. So now Arjuna's description of the universal form will begin. So I have some more slides that I want to show. So this is chapter 11. And here we see one sun, one little sun, man-made sun on the earth. It is a real picture of a real man-made, so to say, sun on earth using nuclear technology. Okay, so this is very real and it is possible. And this is the picture of the description of the universal form that Sanjaya and Arjuna are seeing. So I just said that the universal form, and okay, so there is another slide I put. Lord Krishna has shown the universal form at a couple of other times as well. And Mother Yashoda saw in Krishna's mouth, this is the Mrida Bhakshana Leela. Mrida means mitti, Bhakshana matlab khana, to eat. So when Lord was eating dirt or, you know, the dust, mitti kha rahe the. So his friends went and complained, or they kind of wanted Krishna to get into trouble. So Mother Yashoda says, you know, show me your mouth. And she sees the whole universe in his mouth. So within Krishna is the energy of Krishna, the whole universal form is seen. The next picture is less popular. And anybody knows who is this Rishi or this person in the ocean?
Bhagwan Shiv?
No, not Bhagwan Shiv.
You told once, I forgot the name.
This is Markandeya Rishi.
Markandeya.
And it is mentioned in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is a different topic I told you in about dimensions. I was talking how Krishna transports Markandeya Rishi from one universe. He goes into Krishna and comes out in another universe. So how Krishna is infinite dimensional. That was the point I was showing. But the point is you can go into Krishna and the whole universe is within Krishna. The whole material manifestation is within Krishna. That is the point. So he could see that within Krishna, the whole universe is present. Anyway, so here is a picture. What do you see in this picture? Anybody?
A man or some person and stars.
Sure, very nice. That's exactly what is there. No,
Night sky.
Night sky. And you specifically are seeing the Milky Way.
Galaxy.
The galaxy. Now within the galaxy, now some galaxies may look like this. This is how our Milky Way galaxy is a spiral galaxy. But we cannot see the spiral form of our Milky Way because we are within the Milky Way. Okay? Just like, you know, I may tell you the Taj Mahal is having this nice, you know, dome and 4 towers. But if you are standing inside the Taj Mahal, you cannot see all the features. Only a person who is standing outside can see all the features. So since we are within the Milky Way, we can only see what is the internal view of the Milky Way. So here we are seeing what we can see without our divya chakshu. We have what? Svachakshu, right? That's what Bhagavan Krishna says. With your svachakshu, you cannot see much. So we have svachakshu. Unfortunately, we do not have divya chakshu. So this is what we see. All right. Are you following? When you look up on a very clear night sky with no light pollution, you go into some, remote area, and then you can see the Milky Way. How many of you have seen the Milky Way? These days, it is becoming rare and rare and rare because the night sky is kind of getting lost in the cities due to light pollution. So when it is perfectly dark, with your naked eyes, you can easily see Milky Way. Has anybody seen Milky Way with their naked eyes?
In Crater Lake once, Prabhuji.
Crater Lake, very nice, very dark skies. Yes, so you can see, so this is the picture of a man, woman, whatever, seeing the night sky. So with our svachakshu, we are seeing such a tiny part. The point I'm making, why I'm showing this picture, this is the maximum we can see with our naked eye. Do you agree? Do you agree? You can see stars and all, and you can see the Milky Way, which is nothing but a, billions of stars concentrated in one place. So you see it like a cloud. It's not a cloud, but it's just billions and billions of stars together. All right. Now, if you see with a telescope, so we have svachakshu, but we are intelligent people. So we can make little bit bigger svachakshu. What do we call our bigger svachakshus as? Technological svachakshu is called what?
Telescope.
Very nice. Telescopes. But they are also svachakshu to some extent, or somewhere in between svachakshu and divya chakshu, right? Somewhere in the middle. So then we can see more structure, more beauty. So many people spend so much time looking at the telescopes, such beautiful things. Also, they are very violent, extremely violent. So later on, you will see in this verse, we saw that Sanjaya is saying something very beautiful, like ornaments and divine weapons and garlands and scent and so many wonderful, nice visions. So it can be beautiful. Later on, you will see Arjun get scared when you go near it, or when you look at it or try to understand it with more depth. It is scary as well, because there is so much energy concentrated in one place. So some of these are very, very scary places. Like on the bottom left-hand corner, I am showing this picture of two black holes colliding with each other. These were discovered recently in the last 10 years through what is known as LIGO. It stands for Laser Interferometer Gravitational Observatory. You can Google it and you can know all the details. And the point is, two black holes are merging together. And so much energy is produced that, unimaginable amount of energy is produced. It's a very violent explosion that occurs when black holes merge. On the top right-hand corner, you can see one galaxy eating up another galaxy. This is known as M51. M stands for Messier. Messier was an astronomer, and he, with his little telescope about 200 or 100 plus years ago, with a small telescope, he was looking in the sky and he could see some of these nice objects, and he gave them numbers. So there are, I think, 110 Messier objects, very famous night sky objects. And this is M51, called Whirlpool Galaxy. It looks like a flat-on spiral galaxy. But if you look with a powerful telescope, you will see that it is eating away another small galaxy. All the stars and the clouds are getting gravitationally sucked in by the bigger galaxy. So it is like one Rakshas eating a small Rakshas, or whatever, like that. It's a violent interaction between two galaxies. On the right-hand side, we have the Crab Nebula. It is a nebula that resulted from a huge explosion of a star. At the center of the Crab Nebula is what is known as a neutron star. Very, very violent thing, and it's a pulsar. It's a neutron star that is spinning around very fast, 30 times a second. A star is rotating 30 times a second. It's unimaginable. So very, very violent place, very active place, full of high energy. Okay, then we zoom out. Okay, so now this picture is not even by a telescope which has regular lenses made of glass. This is a mapping of the entire observable universe by something known as WMAP. I forget what is the expansion. It is some, basically it is the space telescope, not in the visual range, in other places of the electromagnetic spectrum, where you map the entire observable universe. So this is what you cannot even see this in like one view. You cannot even see it through, it's just data that you have to then interpret and make a sort of a graph out of it. So basically this picture that you are seeing is a graph of the data captured by the telescope or by that satellite known as WMAP. So it is a graph of the data. It's no longer even a picture. Okay, at least the previous slide were real pictures taken by real telescopes, but very powerful ones. This one is not even a picture. It is data represented as a graph, which looks like the map of the universe. And finally, and by the way, so this is with more sort of detail, with labels and all that. And finally, there is this sort of, again, artist's rendition of multiverse. So many universes, physics, some leading theorists in physics have this theory of multiverse. And this is how multiverses would look based on proper, correct understanding of physics. Now, I don't have that much physics knowledge. I just picked it up from the internet. But this is based on Hawking's final paper. Stephen Hawking, who was a great physicist, based on his scientific study, this picture has been drawn. Just like this picture has been drawn by reading the Bhagavad Gita carefully by devotees. These are some devotees of science, scientific devotees called as researchers. They will read their Bhagavad Gita, which is the scientific papers, and then they draw this nice picture. All right. So what Arjun, so I showed you at multiple levels of zooming. First, we see from the naked eye, then from telescopes, then from satellites, and finally, not even satellites, just theoretical. And all this, everything was being seen by Arjuna in one place as the universal form. Okay, so this is how you can understand the energy and the magnet, or the sort of the overall extent of the manifestation that was being seen by Arjuna in the universal form description. Okay, I will stop this sharing and we will go back to the whiteboard sharing. Okay. Do you see the iPad?
Yes, Prabhuji.
All right, thanks. So we covered till Sanjaya's description. Now 15 to 31 is Arjuna's description of the universal form. Okay. Now I just want to remind you one thing. In the 11th verse, somewhere here, 11th verse, if you see, you will see the word Sarva Ashcharyamayam Devam Anantam Visvato mukham. This is 11th verse, C and D, the last two lines of 11th verse. Sarva Ascharyam Mayam Devam Anantam Visvato Mukham. That what I am seeing with Ascharya, with great wonder, is the Visvato Mukham form. Now this Visvato Mukham, anybody rings a bell, or does this word ring a bell to anyone? Raise your hand if it rings a bell. This is important for, again, those who are doing deeper study of Bhagavad Gita.
One who's looking in every direction, right?
No, that is fine, but this is a technical term.
Okay.
Yes, it may mean that, no, but it is basically the all-pervading form of the Lord, which, as the Lord is pervading in this whole universe through his energy. But this is a technical term. So let me tell you. So this is the Visvato Mukham form. And if you go back to the 9th chapter, and if you go back to 9.15, in that discussion, now please pay attention for those who are serious about studying Bhagavad Gita. 9.11 and 12. What were they describing? They were describing the Asuras, or the Asuric mentality, those who are completely against God. Then 9.13 and 14 were describing what? See, you must remember this if you are very interested in doing deep study of Bhagavad Gita. This is important. We're describing pure devotees. Mahatmanas tumam partha daivim prakritim ashritam. That is 9.13. And 9.14 starts with Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha. So pure devotees are always taking shelter of my divine energy and always doing my kirtan. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Then 9.15, Lord said there is a great sort of a spectrum of people between the pure demons and pure devotees. These are the two ends of the spectrum. Do you remember? Does this whole thing ring a bell? Many, many weeks it has happened since we discussed this in 9th chapter. And there were 3 categories in between. One was ekatvena. One was prithak tvena bahudha. And what was the third category? Look in your
Visvato Mukham.
Visvato Mukham.
Yes, Visvato Mukham. And that term Visvato Mukham, if you look in 9.15, Ekatvena, Prithaktvena, Visvato Mukham. These are the 3 categories, broad categories of people who approach Krishna favorably in varying degrees. And this Visvato Mukham is the one that is being referred to in 11th one. In 11th verse, Visvato Mukham, the exact same term is being used. So if you remember in 9th chapter, I had said that the details of this Vishwarupa form, what Lord Krishna is describing here as Visvato Mukham, as the category of those who approach Krishna with some, in a favorable way, not like demons, but not like pure devotees either. One such category is who consider this material world as so wonderful as a creation of the Lord. Some may consider as the Lord himself. Some may consider as the energy of the Lord, depending on various beginner level understanding or advanced level understanding they may have. They are called as the Visvato Mukham category of people. Okay? So I just wanted to link what we are discussing in chapter 11 is the same what we discussed. Let me show you chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita, verse number 15. I had said that is an index verse. It points to many places in Bhagavad Gita. So jnana yagyena chapi anya, others. These are the other categories. Yajanto mam upasate. They do my Upasana, they worship me in different ways. What are the different ways? Ekatvena prithaktvena bahudha Visvato mukham. All right. So this Visvato mukham is coming here. And that Visvato mukham is being described in chapter 11. All right. Okay. So where were we? 15. 11.15. So now Arjuna's description begins. So we will breeze through this fast. 11.15. Arjuna said, "My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine serpents. O Lord of," I'll just go with the English. For some of them, we might do Sanskrit, but mainly English. O Lord of the universe, O universal form. So here in the Sanskrit, you will see Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa. That is why this chapter is called as the Vishwarupa Darshana. So the word Vishwarupa is here. Some chapters and some editions, you may also see the chapter name as Visvato Mukham Darshana. So both are correct, whether you say Visvato Mukham or Vishwarupa Darshan or universal form, all those are same. O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes, expanding everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. That was 16. Now 17. Your form is difficult to see. So now you will see here that Arjuna is beginning to realize he's feeling the heat. Till now, everything was nice and good. Now, you're beginning, like first time, for first 5 seconds, when you see the sun, you feel like, wow, I'm able to see the sun. Then it begins to hurt. So,
one question. I noticed from Shloka 15, the Shloka length has increased.
Yeah, the meter has changed. And this meter is, I forget the name. So the rest of the meters are known as Anushtup Chanda. And this one, maybe somebody can tell me, or my wife can, I have those meters written down.
Okay.
But this particular meter, you will see this kind of a change occurring also from 2.6 to 2.7. If you want, you can go back in your Bhagavad Gita. That's a very, very classic example of the change of meter. Okay. So, and 2.7 is a very, very important verse. So, actually the ones before also, from 2.4 to 2.5 itself, the meter change is happening. Okay, because the mood of Arjuna is completely changing. The mood of Arjuna is from, I will not fight, because in 2.4 he realizes that I have to kill Bhishma and Drona in this battle. They are my opponents. And he just completely melts down. So the change of bhava is occurring in Arjuna, and that is denoted by the change of meter. Okay. So this is a change of meter that is occurring from Arjun's perspective, from 11.4 to 11.15, when he is seeing this universal form, and he is just in this yoga-aisvaram bhava, in this mood of complete awe, reverence, fear, intimidation, and so on. Okay.
What does meter means?
Meter means chanda. And the way, and so Anushtup Chanda, most of the Bhagavad Gita verses are known as Anushtup Chanda, which means 8 syllables per quarter. which means total 32 syllables per verse. So 8 syllables per quarter. So you take any verse like I just opened my book. 6.35 came. Asamshayam Mahabaho. So Asamshayam 8 syllables per not quarter, per half. So 16 per verse. So Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durni Graham Chalam Abhya Sena Tu Konteya Vaira Gena Cha Grihyate. So like that, the whole verse is broken down. When it is broken down into 8 per or 4 per quarter, 8 per half, that is known as Anushtup Chanda, and it is typically sung in this way. Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durni Graham Chalam Abhyasena Tu Kaunteya Vairagyena Cha Grihyate. So like that you sing it. This one is a classic one for this would be, the one that I love is 8.11, I think. Let me open up. Yeah. Prayana kale manasa chalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva. So like that and this contains, I can't remember, prayana ka le na, I can't remember. I think it is, yeah, I'll have to see. So it has a different chanda, it is a different meter with different number of syllables per line. So that is known as the way.
Indra Braja.
Indra Vraja. Okay, that doesn't sound, it might be, I may know it by a different name. These meters have different names in different schools of Sanskrit also.
Anushtup Chanda has only 8.
Yeah, somebody has said, yes, Trishtup Chanda, that is the name I remember. Whoever wrote that, yes. So it may be known, Mataji, by that name also, what you mentioned. So there are different names for each chanda, like, okay. All right, so where were we?
I was immediately reminded of chapter 11, Prabhuji, but I didn't want to every time answer. I was waiting somebody else will answer.
Okay, nice, very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so yes, we are at 11.16. O Lord of the universe, we read this. Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa. So that is the line. Yeah, we were at 11.17. Okay. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence. So this is a very important point that Arjuna is saying, Tejo Rashim, that it is very effulgent. Tejo Rashim means the Rashi means the effulgence that is coming out is very teja, is very strong. And Durni Rikshan Samantad. So Durni Riksham Samantad means it is very difficult to see. It's very difficult to behold. So your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading on all sides, like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. 18. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. So, and then 19, you are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and the moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. Although you are one, you are spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O great one, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. So, till 19, from number 15 to 19, Arjuna was describing the description of the vision, just what Arjuna was seeing. From 20 to 23, Arjuna is describing it is the description of the effect on the universe. When all the energy of the universe is concentrated at one place, what happens? What is the effect on the universe? So here Arjuna is saying that seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. Everybody is getting, all the planetary systems are getting perturbed. 21. All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings, crying all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. So because Lord Krishna is showing this universal form to Arjuna, the various demigods and the various entities of the universe who can see the universal form are getting perturbed, are getting disturbed. All the various, 22 now, all the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Vishwadevas, the two Ashvis, the Maruts, the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, and the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder. O mighty armed one, that is 23. O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form. With its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth, as they are disturbed. And as they are disturbed, so am I. So Arjuna is saying, I'm very disturbed. They are also disturbed. I am also getting very disturbed. So all the wonderfulness, all the beauty has now gone. And now there is a lot of distress and disturbance. So that is effect on the universe. 24 to 25 is the description of the effect on Arjuna, personal. Kindly mute yourself, somebody. Okay. Personal effect on Arjuna, 24 and 25. Oh, all-pervading Vishnu. So here you will see the word Vishnu. Dhritim na Vindami Shamam cha Vishnu. That's how Arjuna is addressing Lord Krishna as Vishnu. So, all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. So remember, there is awe, reverence, but there is also fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. So that is what Arjuna is saying. He is getting afraid. He cannot maintain his equilibrium. He cannot maintain his balance. 25. O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance, seeing thus your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions, I am bewildered. So in the previous verse, the face was very beautiful. Now the face has become what? Death-like. Okay, so that beauty of the universal form lasts for a very short time. Very soon, one starts to become perturbed. This does not happen when you are seeing Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna, when you see, you continue to feel happiness and bliss. You don't get perturbed very soon or ever. Okay. So this is the effect on Arjuna. And then 26 to 30 is the vision or the effect on the battlefield. Vision of the, or the effect on the battlefield. What happens to all the people on the battlefield? You will see they are all getting crushed, or they are all getting killed. So 26 and 27. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also. So if you remember, or if you know, in the Mahabharata war, everybody on both sides was killed, except the Pandavas. So, and of course, they all went to Vaikuntha because they were present in the, they were killed in the presence of Krishna. So that is a very glorious thing. Anyway, one day you have to die. Better to die in front of Krishna so that you go to the Vaikuntha Loka. So anyway, all the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also are rushing into your fearful mouths. And I see trapped with heads, and some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. So this is the effect on the battlefield, what's going on, or effect on the people of the battle. As the many waves of rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. So as moths, you must have seen these moths, they just enter into fire, and then you see patak, patak, you see little bursts, like they are dying. Like that, all these soldiers are dying. 30. O Vishnu, I see you're devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. So that is the description or the effect on the battlefield of the warriors on the battlefield, what they are going to experience. And then finally, in text number 31 is Arjuna's question. So far, very nicely, there was a very nice relationship that was established between Arjuna and Krishna. What was that relationship between Arjuna and Krishna? Somebody tell. Raise your hands.
Friend, Sakha.
Sakha, very nice. What else?
Guru Shishya.
Guru Shishya also, very nice.
Devotee and Lord Krishna.
Yes, Bhakta and Bhagavan, very nice. And also as a charioteer, at least for the purposes of the battle. Okay, so all are very personal relationships and are very relatable. Arjuna and Krishna were sakhas. So they were friends. Guru and Shishya also. There is an establishment of relationship. Okay, Arjuna says, Shishyaste mam, Shishyaste aham, Shadhi mam prapannam. I become your Shishya. And then there is
brother-in-law.
Huh?
Brother-in-law.
Yes, brother-in-law also. Very true. Okay. So Subhadra was married to Arjun, and Subhadra is Lord Krishna's sister. So all these relationships are there, and Arjuna knows one can have many relationships with a person, isn't it? More than one. So all these relationships exist. In 31, Arjuna is confused. Are baap re, aap kaun hai? Who are you? I thought I knew you. Please tell me who you are and what is your mission. So that is the question that Arjuna poses. Who are you? Imagine Arjuna knowing Krishna for such a long time in all these various relationships, as a friend, as a brother-in-law, as a shishya, as a devotee, so many nice relationships. Now he is saying, I don't even know who you are. It is like, in some movies or some, stories, you might have seen this plot where, husband and wife are there and living nicely. One day the wife realizes that my husband is a CIA spy and is a, he's going on these, he keeps saying, I have to go on some official tour, but actually he is going on these secret missions to, do some secret operations to kill some terrorists and, fire some guns. And in her view, he is just a simple school teacher. So I don't know how many of you have seen that
True Lies.
Superman movie. It was very popular. Have you heard this name, Clark Kent? How many of you have heard that? Clark Kent. He is like Superman, but to his girlfriend, he poses as a journalist. And his name is Clark Kent. So he's just a simple journalist. And that too, he is always afraid and very, very timid person. But when some crisis happens, he turns into Superman and, does all these wonderful things. So this is all obviously comic book stuff. But the point is, that is what is happening to Arjuna. He thought, yes, he knows that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, but he always knows him in a nice, sweet relationship, not in this ghastly relationship. And that is what Arjuna cannot understand. So this is Clark Kent to Superman. Anyway, so in verse number 31, Arjuna says, O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. Aap hain kaun? What is your real nature? What is your real identity? I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. So after seeing this very fierce, very fearful form, Arjuna is confused. What is your mission? What is your purpose? Why are you here on the battlefield? Why are you, what are you trying to accomplish? So then in 30, so now if you remember, I had told you the section still 31. Where was that? In the beginning somewhere. Yes, here. So chapter 11 sections. So we covered all these sections up to 31, which is Arjuna's description of universal form. The last one, number 31, Arjuna has a question. What is your purpose? What is your mission? Who are you? And in now, Lord Krishna will answer that question, 32 to 34, 3 verses, 32, 33, 34, is Lord Krishna's answer. What is the answer? The question is, who are you? What is your, I should write it with a capital Y. What is your mission? That is the question. And the answer is, what is the answer? I have come here to, I'm summarizing.
Dharma Sthapna.
Yes, to deliver justice. I have come here to deliver justice. And so these are some of the salient points, some of the important points of Lord's answer. So I have come here to deliver justice. Justice shall be delivered no matter what. Whether you like it or not, justice will be delivered. All right? And if you want, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, if you want, you can be a part of my, again I should put in capital, my plan. Okay? If you want, you can be part of my plan. Right? Like sometimes mother says to children, I have to clean up the house. I am going to clean up the house whether you help me or not. House will get cleaned up and I can do it on my own. But if you will help me, you will additionally get my love. Of course, mother always loves the child, but I'm saying in that moment, either you can just do your own thing, I will anyway clean up the house. But if you want to, show me that you love me, then you can help me. Haath bata sakte ho. Are you following? So our duty, so it is not, we should never think that Lord's plan is being executed because of us. If I am not present, my mother will not be able to clean the house. That is never the case. She is powerful enough to clean the house on her own. It is in our advantage. It is in our benefit if we help her, because then we will get nice, favor from the mother. She will cook nice halwa puri and you children did very nice help. Let me cook some nice thing. Otherwise, she will give you khichdi. Chalo, today only khichdi khao. Chalo. I'm very tired. You guys didn't help me. So today you will get only khichdi. Do you understand? The kind of mood, the kind of sense. So if you want, you can be a part of my plan, but my plan will go on. One should never think that the Lord is dependent on us, or if we don't do something, his plan will not execute. Just like when Lord Ram, Shri Ram was his plan was to build the bridge. He did not need the help of the Vanar Sena, but they anyway got together and helped Lord Shri Ram. But Lord Shri Ram only created all the circumstances for the bridge to be made. He, based on his orders, the Devata of the Samudra gave him the enabled that all the stones will float. So Lord Ram could have just created the bridge in one shot. But he said, okay, you guys create it. I will sit and I'll feel happy how much you love me. If I want, I can make the bridge in 1 second. But you want to show how much you love me? Very nice. I will sit and I will experience your love as I see you making the bridge. So that is the point is, when we are executing Lord's plan, let me see how to put it. Who is doing the favor and who is receiving the favor? Please raise your hands. When we are executing Lord's plan, who is the one doing the favor and who is receiving the favor?
The Lord is doing the favor.
Raise your hands. So I'm seeing who has not answered yet.
Can I get the opportunity to answer?
Yes, Parul Mataji, what are you saying?
Like it's Lord who is doing the favor and we are receiving the favor.
In what sense? Can you explain?
Like it is his mercy that he's giving us the opportunity to serve him.
Exactly.
So in that.
Okay. Yes. Neeru Mataji, what were you going to say?
I was going to say the same thing, that, it's a mercy of the Lord that we are getting the opportunity to serve or be part of his plan.
Very nice. Indra Gupta, madam.
If God chooses, we have that, what I can say, that we are able to do that, then only he chooses us.
Okay, that is slightly different, I feel, what you are saying, that if we are able to do, then he chooses us.
Because he knows that I can do, then only he chooses.
Okay, very nice. Another way that we understand it from our Gurujanas and our Acharyas is that when Lord includes us in his plan, okay? Please pay attention. This is very sweet. When Lord includes us in his plan, he also gives us the strength to execute that part of the plan. All right. So if God allows, like other devotees said, Parul Mataji, Niru Mataji said, the Lord is allowing us to be part of his plan, isn't it? So he is doing the favor, we are receiving the favor. That is the first point. That is the answer to the question. He is doing the favor, we are receiving because he's allowing us. And then when he allows us or he lets us be part of the plan, he gives us the strength or intelligence or whatever you can call it to execute part of the plan. Going back to our example of mother, the child says, no, I really want to help you. Mother says, no, 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 you cannot. You will not be able to. Child says, no, I really want to help you.
Next service
kindly mute yourself. Close. Okay. So child says, I really want to help. Mother says, okay, you are so much wanting to help. I will accept your help. And then she says, she teaches the child, this is how you must cut the vegetable. Let's say she's cooking. So she says, she teaches the child, she holds the hand of the child and says, this is how you cut. This is how you do. This is what you do. All that way. So she is enabling the child also so that he can help. So ultimately the mother is the giver in this example and the child is the receiver of the favor. So like that, if the Lord is allowing you to be part of the plan, he also gives us the strength to be part of the plan. So this...
Puji, just one thought here. At times, he gives us opportunity to be part of his plan, but we choose not to do it. So Duryodhan falls in that category?
No, Duryodhan was not even given Duryodhan was given earlier. He was given to be part of the plan when Lord Krishna went and said, you give, some 5 villages you give to the Pandavas. That was Lord Krishna saying to Duryodhana that you do as I am saying. Otherwise, you will be vanquished. So the plan can have different options. So the Lord laid out his plan. The Lord did not hide his plan. He said, either you give 5 villages or you will be destroyed. And he did not say, I will destroy. He did not say that. He said, these Pandavas are very strong. They will destroy you. Don't be foolish. So he gave 2 options and Duryodhan he did not choose the option which was for his benefit. He chose his own option, which in Lord's plan means destruction of Duryodhan. He thought he would not be destroyed because he did not believe in the supremacy of Krishna. So he said, oh, this Krishna is just, bankas maar raha hai. He's just, he is a nobody. Aisa hi bol raha hai. He's like, just making it all up. So he did not be part of any plan of Krishna. He did not be part of the plan. Okay, I want to be destroyed. I choose option B. That was not the case. He completely rejected Krishna. He says, none of your options make sense. You are not the one who should give me options. All right, Mataji?
It was not the plan. Actually, it was the only way to execute the plan. Plan was to Vinasaya Duskritam, and Duryodhan was Duskritam. So Vinasaya Duskritam plan was...
No, wait. Even the demons have a choice. Everybody, all jivas have a choice. Okay? So otherwise, what is to say that, this discussion can go in a wrong direction very fast. That somebody can say, I am not destined to do bhakti. So why should I do bhakti? No. At all points of time, Arjuna, Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, all these people had a choice. But they chose the wrong option. or an option which was not in their benefit. Or you can say it was in their short-term benefit, but long-term loss. So the power to make a choice is always a free choice. And Bhagavan does not interfere in that choice. He does not. So not everything is preordained. Not everything is preordained. We have a choice. And so did Duryodhan. Okay? So therefore, it is not a foregone conclusion that Duryodhan is a vinashaya cha dushkritam, that Duryodhan is a dushkrita and uska to vinash hoga hi. He will get destroyed. Okay? There are some demons who go far, but then they walk back. Ravana did not do that. Hiranyakashipu did not do that. Duryodhan did not do that. There is one example of a demon who walked back. Any example you have?
Bali.
Bali Maharaj is a separate example.
Bali
He's a devotee from the beginning.
Maricha?
No. Okay, a better...
Vibhishana.
Vibhishana is a devotee from A to Z. He was never a asura. So the example that is given in this situation is Kaliya. First, he tried to kill Krishna.
Kaliya Nag.
Kaliya Nag, yes. First, he tried to kill Krishna. And then he realized upon seeing the power of Krishna that, oh my God. And Krishna would have killed him. But his wives, the Nagapatnis, prayed to Krishna. And he also realized that Krishna is Bhagavan. So he then surrendered to Krishna. And then Krishna spared him. He said, now get out of here from the Yamuna and never come back. And he agreed and his life was spared. And of course, he got the lotus feet of the Lord on his head, which is very nice. Okay, so everybody has, even the demons have a free choice. It is not a foregone conclusion that they will be destroyed. The choice is whether to continue to act demoniacally or to stop your demoniac actions. If you stop your demoniac actions, you will be, not only you will be saved, but you will get the mercy of the Lord. All right, Prabhuji. So there is a little bit of that Siddhantic understanding that you have to have, that it is not a foregone conclusion. At all times, even the demons have a choice. All right?
Okay.
Okay, so we are at 8:30 and I want to make a couple of important announcements, or basically one important announcement. But let us see. So we need to cover next time from 32 onwards. Lord Krishna's response. But I have told you the essence. The essence of Lord Krishna's response is that I have come here to deliver justice, and justice shall be delivered no matter what. If you want, you can be part of my plan to deliver justice. And the very famous words that Lord Krishna utters or speaks is nimitta matra bhava. Savyasachi. Savyasachi means an Arjuna. Nimitta matra bhava. Just become an instrument of my plan. I will be the one operating the instrument. Does the instrument operate on its own? Does the instrument operate on its own? So how does the instrument work?
The
operator operates the instrument, and then you get the output, isn't it? That is the significance of the word nimitta, instrument, nimitta. So in this case, Lord Krishna is saying, I will be the operator. You just be the instrument. I will be the operator. You don't have to think. You don't have to do anything. The only one choice you have to make is become my instrument. That is the choice you have to make. Then I will put you in autopilot. Not autopilot, but Krishna pilot. The choice is whether to become the instrument or not to become the instrument. Okay? And to stay as the instrument. Don't jump off later on. Become the instrument and stay the instrument. Rest is Krishna's. Krishna will drive your life. And that is the instruction for us also. We should become instruments. We should just consider Krishna to be the operator and sit on Krishna's pilot. Krishna is the pilot, I am the passenger. Just like literally, like a Sarathi, Krishna will drive your chariot. Krishna became the charioteer for Arjuna. Krishna is willing to become the charioteer of our life. We just have to sit on the chariot and surrender to Krishna. Then he will take us back home, back to Vaikuntha. So that is the essence of this nimitta, nimitta matra bhava Savyasachi. So that comes in verse number 33. We will do the Sanskrit of these couple of verses, and then we will continue next week, and we will complete 11th chapter next week. Important announcement one is that from 14th October onwards, we will change the time of the class to 6 p.m. Pacific time. So those who are in, so which means 30 minutes earlier, we will start the class. So it will become from 6 to 8 instead of 6:30 to 8:30. It will become 6 to 8 from 14th October, not from next week.
6 to 7, 1 hour.
Okay. So we will basically start at 6 o'clock, 30 minutes earlier from 14th October onwards. Those in India, it will mean at 6:30 a.m. Right now for people in India, it is 7 a.m. It will become 6:30 a.m. And then from, I think from 7th November or something like that, it will become 7:30 a.m. for India time. Because in the US, we will move back 1 hour. In US, we have this craziness of daylight saving and non-daylight saving change. I will tell you at that time. This will happen sometime in November. So don't worry about this. Just till 14th, from 14th October, we will start half an hour early.
It's the same time as the Bhagavatam class.
Same time as Bhagavatam class. So all the class will start, the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita class will both start at 6 p.m.
One short question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
What is a Savyasachi?
Savyasachi is another name for Arjuna. Now, Srila Prabhupada says in the Purport, if you see in 11.33, Purport, Savyasachi refers to one who can shoot arrows very expertly.
Okay.
So it is another name for Arjuna.
Okay. Thank you.
Nimitta matra bhava Savyasachi. My dear Savyasachi or Arjuna, become my instrument.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Any other questions? Quick questions? And
Prabhuji, I was listening to a video. This is Parul.
Yes,
like
Mataji.
tomorrow is the day when Srila Prabhupada would have arrived in the US.
Yes, that is
Like,
very. Thank you for. Yes, go ahead. What, was there anything?
No. So I was
You were
just thinking, like, I mean, you are also a guru, right? So I just wanted to hear something about that from you.
No, I am not a guru. I am just a repeater. So it is just like a wire extender, in electric, I'm not the source of the energy. The guru is the source. I am just an extender of, repeating Srila Prabhupada's words. So
can we call you the nimit of the source, nimit of Srila
I'm
Prabhupada?
happy to be serving the gurus. Srila Prabhupada is our foremost guru. And Srila Prabhupada arrived in the US today at the Boston Harbor. His ship docked and he got off the ship and he explored Boston a little bit. So today, and my children are in Boston, so they were telling me today in the Boston temple, there is a big celebration happening to celebrate the first time Srila Prabhupada put his feet on the US soil. So yes, today is a very nice day of the arrival of Srila Prabhupada in the United States in 1965. Thank you for reminding, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was listening to a video and then I just almost had tears. Like yes. Some Mataji here was saying that God chooses you only if you have strength. Like if you look at Srila Prabhupada, like at almost 70, I'm not sure if he would have had the strength, right? It was all the mercy of the Lord and the lessons that he wanted to teach us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Had he not come here to the West and made such a big society and gained so much, sort of made Krishna's name, Bhagavad Gita, so popular, I would not have, I lived in India for the first 25 or so, 27 years of my life. I never got a inspiration to read Bhagavad Gita. After coming to the United States, the devotees attracted me and talked to me, explained to me, and I became interested in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavan Krishna. Otherwise, life was going on in a materialistic way. And all of that is because of Srila Prabhupada. There are so many acharyas, so many gurus that have taken birth in India. But for a person like me, I needed the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. All those previous acharyas and gurus could not, I was not, somehow, I could not develop the taste. Only Srila Prabhupada's mercy is there that, and many people say this, they don't get this in India. When they come to US or the West, then they become interested in Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna consciousness. This is the great gift of Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, finding your guru in a foreign country.
Yes. In this forest of material life, we found our guru.
I became interested because of you only.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So I think this is the right time to conclude the class. We will continue.
You are the point of enlightenment, Guru. Enlightenment.
Thank you. So next week there is class, right? Yeah. So next week we will complete chapter 11. Some very beautiful verses are going to come in chapter 11. The last 11 verses, 45 to 55, are extremely, extremely important. So please don't plan to miss the class and please attend the class. Very, very important verses of Bhagavad Gita. Some of the most very important verses of entire Bhagavad Gita are going to come. So we'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.